Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to rework my original tutorial on making a tank because recently I just got a lot better and I can proudly say that I can make it much more compact, and also this time I might be using from CBC Modern Warfare the medium cannons. See, medium cannons are good because they have a single type shell, so like a single piece shell. You don't have to put in the shell and cartridge, but you have the whole thing together. And they also have a bunch of good shells like APBC, APHE, HE, and other cool stuff. And it also adds these shells like APDS, HEAP, and HHC for regular cannons. And it also has armors, of course, but we're not gonna use that. We're gonna use the regular armor. So let's start building them. So I'm just gonna grab the outline of the tank. So we're gonna build a 5 by 13 tank, or at least like the outline is gonna be 5 by 12 or 13, sorry. So this is gonna be the outline of the tank itself, and after we did this, we're gonna remove these blocks because the here is gonna be the wheels and here's gonna be the startup. And it's also gonna have like a little protective part over the belt. So we're gonna put down the two gearboxes as usual, the third one right here. We're gonna grab our inverted clutch and creative motor and button, and we're just gonna put them here. Put this at speed 96, and I also place a lever under, like on the, oops, my bad, on the other side, so like I can toggle it when I want to check stuff. And we're gonna add 3 engines, only 3, because I just found out that my game was buggy before and they just didn't want to work. So we're gonna add these chain drive, yes, and now we're gonna grab our inverted clutch and gear shift and of course place down the combo. So if I actually toggle it, I'm gonna be able to see that this motor, of course, itself will also rotate right from this. This is the left, which then gets mirrored to the right, so this one doesn't need reverse, this one does. And also we're gonna go to these generators, and we're gonna grab an engine silencer and put it on the engines. Next thing you wanna do is go back to create and grab, of course, our stuff for the fuel tank, which, since we have 3 engines, this is actually gonna be plenty enough. So there we go. You can also use a wrench, and also I'm gonna get my glasses. But you can use a wrench and just close this off if you want. It's not necessary, really, it doesn't do much, so it's just for looks. But anyway, now we're gonna test our engine. Of course, we always need to test our engine. And it works, so it matches the rotation, which means I can enable this lever to give me like an idea of where everything rotates. What you want to do is grab something else other than steel armor block, because that thing sometimes works with redstone and sometimes doesn't. So I'm rather using iron because it around has the same resistance, I think, or nearly the same. And I'm gonna grab my redstone links because iron actually does help with redstone, because I think redstone links are soft powered and not hard powered, which technically means they count as if a redstone dust was going into a block instead of a repeater. So now that's done, we're gonna also set these modes. There we go. I'm gonna go under and do the same thing. You can also see the engines actually burn fuel very slowly, so this is only 3 per second, and if the whole thing can contain 8,000, that's 8,000 over 3 seconds until it runs out of fuel from startup. Okay, so before we continue, what I would like to do is actually start covering up. And this time we're actually gonna add armor. So this time the front is gonna have enough armor to protect us. So we're gonna go ahead and just add a couple layers. I think I already flattened it out in the front. I'm trying to remember how I did it originally, because it does matter. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna add these steel blocks inside, of course, to protect everything. We need them. And this is where our physics bearing is gonna be, so we can build around that. I think I can add them one more layer. So we're gonna build around, and we're gonna stop right before the links. Also gonna add the block here, and already add our oak ship helm right over here to be ready to be assembled. So there we go. We can cover that up because we're gonna leave that hole. And now what you want to do is pull out this whole part and do the same thing on the other side. So bam, and then pull it to the back, and then you want to add these. So both sides. Okay, that didn't really do anything. And then add. Actually, no. Before you add these, it's recommended to add the small wheels. So the small suspension track, small sprocket track, and like here, and fill the space. Oops. And go to the other side, do the same thing. Oops, no. There we go. And now what you want to do is add the covering part of the wheels. This doesn't interfere with the wheels, so you don't have to worry. Here we go. And what you want to do is go to frame blocks and get these slab edges and cover them with this block. So now you got like a proper looking side and front, so that's nice. And let's see, I think I actually add this to the side, so I'm just gonna put this on, not until here, just until there, like this. And at the side, there we go. So now we got this cool looking frame. You also don't need to worry about this. This is fine. And now, actually, I'm not gonna take the cover off, but I'm gonna go in here and add the mechanisms. So first, you will need this rotation speed control. I know I could do it with the redstone resistor, but that is really, I mean, sure, we can use it because it's compact. So what you need is go to create and get an analog lever like this, and you want to set it to 14 because that's gonna be good speed. Can get rid of this. Shut up. I'm gonna turn off sounds just to focus a bit better. There we go. So now what you want to do is, of course, add the two main parts. So the physics bearing and its connections, and the transmission. So let's see. I'm also gonna get rid of these because for now we don't need them. We'll need them later, but not now. And I am gonna add a vertical gearbox and our gear shift. So Or I might actually put them in reverse. Actually, I'm gonna flip them. I'm gonna flip them like this. Here's the redstone link 1, and we're gonna put the second on the bottom, and we're gonna connect this to the rotation speed controller like this. We're also gonna set these modes, and there we go. The next thing you wanna add is, of course, the transmission up to the cannon to make it rotate, which, yeah, we don't have too much space to do it, but I think we're gonna do it right over here, because on the bottom there's literally no chance they're gonna be shot. So I mean, there is a significant chance, but it's not the worst. So we're gonna add the gear shift clutch combo. I'm thinking which direction, but it doesn't really matter. And we're gonna add from create under transmission the energy transmitter on 1. It's alright because we don't have any other tanks. Yep. And then we're gonna add the what do you call it? Redstone link. Yeah. We're gonna also get the block of iron back because I think I threw it out. Yeah. And we're gonna destroy this one and replace it and put on the redstone link so that we can receive signals. So now we got that. We got everything connected on there. So the next thing you want to do is get the turret, and the turret is gonna have a flat floor. So I found that recently that you can actually just glue everything and then it will know where the turret is. So that's cool. So I can just do this, and I think that's alright. Might be even a bit too big. I'm gonna put on the sides. There we go. We're gonna get the armor, of course, so it's gonna have armor on it. We're gonna decorate that later. Also, I might change the interior right now because this isn't the most effective way I could do it. But oh, I forgot that's not where the front wall is. This is where the front wall is. So just gonna add that. Also, I recommend following the build I make in the video for the sake of the tutorial to actually work out. But if you can already make a tank, then go ahead and make your own, because I'm gonna take some time doing this, but seems like we're done mostly. So we're gonna get our compact mount and our medium can and stuff. I'm gonna use the nether steel because it's the biggest I can make. So we're gonna add, I think, yeah, no, it's reverse, like this. And let's see, including breach, we can do 15 blocks. So can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, we know actually we can go longer. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if I could do a modern tank, this would look much better, but medium cannons are cool. And by the way, you load it by just simply doing the same thing with the slide as if you were doing a quick firing bridge, because it's basically the same. You can also automate it like the quick firing bridge, except you only need to load the simple ammo. So we're gonna add the other energy transmitter here. It's alright. And we're gonna cover this up. We're gonna put a slab there so that it can move up. I mean, that's really just decoration, but this actually gives a better armor. And now we're gonna go back to frame blocks and get our frame trapdoor, not the iron one, but the simple one. And we're gonna add that over the whole part except this block. There we go. We're gonna add that. And we're gonna close them down except the middle one because there's the lever. which will assemble the cannon. And okay, we got that. And we're gonna add this on the, oops, wrong one. And we're gonna add a vertical corner pillar right here and right here, and boom. So we got like a cool looking turret now. It's actually kind of reminds me of the KME one, so it's nice. And now we can actually start putting in some wall armor like this. You can see it's not the biggest armor, so really solid shots from normal cannons with a cartridge can't really penetrate through this. This is too much armor for them, so they only penetrate one. But AP with a cartridge, that goes to 3 blocks, so this isn't actually too much armor. But it's much faster at firing and reloading, so that's better. Now you want to go to this egg mod called Tallyho, which for whatever reason has very few items and also doesn't have names, but you want to get this scope block or thermal if you want to be go like that. You can, on the outside you're gonna add it as a design just, but on the inside this one is actually gonna have a functionality, because you see if you click it, it's gonna mount you on it. You can look up and down. If you press shift you can get out, so it's like an extra mountable. You can use it from a chair as well, a seat as well. And that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go to create and get a seat and put it right here so that you can sit down. I'm also gonna put one I'm gonna put one in front of the cannon so that you can also reload it, not the gunner, but there's also gonna be a separate loader. And actually it doesn't matter where you mount it, it's always gonna look at the same part. Not because this exists, because this one looks on the inside. So if I were to remove this one, you still see the same thing, so it's really just a decoration on the outside. I mean, if you want it to be like functional, I don't know why you want to look inside of a tank, but you can also use glass. So what you can also do is break these and put in some glass so that you can see better, which I actually recommend doing because it might be actually more helpful, but it's really up to you. Although mind that this thing is gonna be extremely fragile here, so make sure you try to hide your gunner sight. So now that we have done that, we're gonna just cover up the top of the tank like this. Or if you don't want to raise up the top, what you can also do, which I'm actually gonna do, is just, since the inner part is already 2 blocks with slabs, you can just do this. And you can also leave a hole for the commander to climb in, so that's cool. And I might actually add a ladder here. I'm not gonna add 2 because this way you can drop down, because sometimes ladders just bug out and don't let you in. So yeah, this mod is weird, but it's fine. It's not the worst. And I'm also gonna add another frame trapdoor. Why is it moving? Holy hell. But I'm gonna add another one, and that's gonna be for the commander to climb out. I'm gonna add it right here with like a little block next to it, which is really just decoration, but you can see it can climb in, climb out. So it's nice. You can also remove it, but I think I'm just gonna leave the block here. So now we got all of that, which is very nice, because now we're gonna go over and calibrate our controls. So we're gonna put all this into our inventory, and it doesn't fit, but don't worry, we can throw out some parts of it. And now we're gonna go to simple blocks. We're gonna get 4 different types, and we're gonna get a tweak controller. So in here you want to go to the controls, and first we're gonna get forward, which is just enabling. backward, which also enables but reverses both tracks for obvious reasons. Then we're gonna get left and right, which only reverses one. So we're gonna have left, right, enable. These are just the enables. I'm gonna place them. And left one, and we'll reverse this one. Right one, we'll reverse this one. So now, just to clarify, stone is forward, granite is backward, polished granite is left, and diorite is right. So now we can go inside the Tweak controller, go to Axis Settings, and go to this part and place in all of our blocks in reverse order, like this. I'm just gonna show you on the screen. You can pause the video to copy it, and now that we've done that, we're gonna switch back to button settings and quit. And we're gonna delete this from our inventory, and we're gonna cover up this part except this block because we're gonna fill that in later. So the next thing you wanna do is add the turret left right, and also the cannon up down, which is gonna be actually the first. Where did I add that? Yes, right here. So we're gonna go ahead and get fresh 5 blocks like this, and we're gonna go over here. So these 3 are our cannon. We're gonna have polished deep slate to be up and calcite to be down. So for this we have to know the rotation. So this thing is rotating left, which means this is also rotating left, but it gets flipped here, so it rotates right. So by default this is going to rotate right, but this is not parallel to the one up there, so it's gonna reverse it like a gearbox, so it's gonna be left, which means by default we're gonna be going down, and if we want to go up, we're gonna have to reverse it. Same thing for this one. Check the rotation. It's going left, going left. Here it goes into gearbox and comes out here as right, but flips again, turns back into left, which here then gets reversed into right, which means our turret is gonna turn right by default. So for right, which is just simply activating it, which is this one, is gonna be dripstone, and tough is gonna activate and reverse right over here. And I don't remember if I did that, so I'm just gonna quickly replace it so that to make sure it's actually working like that. Now we're gonna get out, go up here, back into the turret, and we're gonna add a redstone link and put in the grass one. Now what I recommend is also adding some lights inside your tank, because otherwise it's gonna get extremely dark in here at night, so you're not gonna see anything at all. Of course, if it's auto-loaded, then it's not a problem, but otherwise, if it's manual loaded and multi-crew, then I recommend lighting it up. So I'm just gonna get a glowstone maybe, or something like that. Maybe I'm actually gonna go to create and get a lamp. No, there's only what's called lamp, never mind. I'm just gonna get something really quick. I don't wanna waste time spending time on like decorations and stuff, so I'm just gonna grab a glowstone and put it right here in the back, like this. That's just a little light. And now that we're finished with that part, we can already go into our Tweak controller and add the arrow keys. You wanna add your controls in order for obvious reasons, and you're gonna grab and put shooting into left mouse or whatever you want it. This is here's my controls. You can copy it down if you want or make your own. And now that we're done with it, our controller is set up, which means we can if we assemble and everything, we can already move forward, backward, left, right. We can rotate our turret and rotate our cannon, and we can also shoot. So now comes the part where we assemble our tank. So first thing, we're gonna get this rotation out. See, our engine already drained, so that's not a problem. Now we're gonna go in here, grab our ship helm, and assemble the tank. Now, sometimes these things will start to rotate for whatever reason, but that's just a bug, so you don't need to worry about that. And now we got the whole thing assembled. The next thing you want to do, strictly the next thing is grab some glue, some super glue from Create, and trace the outlines of your hull or turret, my bad, including the cannon, and put a box of glue around it like this, so that you glue the whole turret together. Of course, if you have to, you can also glue it in multiple parts so that you don't interfere with the hull. So now we glued the whole turret, which you can actually fact check by checking all of the glued parts. You can see everything is put together. That's very nice. Now you want to go where your physics bearing is, which is right under this block, which isn't a good idea. So if you want a proper tank, you have to protect that shit. So we're gonna go ahead and right click it, which assembles the whole turret for us, except the cannon. See, the cannon, the first time you assemble it, is actually gonna give out an error because it has been turned into a physics object. So you're gonna have to replace your cannon, sadly. But no worries, it's not a complicating thing to do. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. The ladder is absolutely buggy. To 1, then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got our cannon back, and don't worry, now that you assemble it, it's gonna assemble and become one with the tank. And as you can see, our tank is completely assembled together. So now you can just make space. Why do I have 2 levers? But anyway, now we are ready, which means we're gonna go ahead down to our engine, actually the fuel tank. You can see, you can check that this is 14, so we can fill up our tank, and you can also hope that you wire the controls correctly. We're gonna start up our engine. You can see it starts up. So now we should be able to turn and everything. So forward works, backward works, right, left, turret works. Okay, left doesn't seem to work, and up and down is switched. I'm just gonna quickly check why left doesn't work. Well, left should be somewhere around here, and I think I see the problem. See, let me check. Oh, my bad. Doesn't seem like left is working, which is supposed to be tough, but there is no tough at all, which means, oh god, what's happening? You see, I accidentally switched this up, which is supposed to be tough, with something else, which I think is dripstone. Yeah, so we're gonna grab some tough and switch this out. Oop, I didn't mean to do that, but we're gonna switch it out. We're gonna put this away, and now if everything is in place, we should be able to turn the turret left. Now up and down is switched for the cannon, which is very easy to fix. You can either switch it in the controller or just grab it by the items. So it's gonna be deep slate? No, I don't think so. It's gonna be calcite, I think. Yes, calcite. So that is gonna be flipping it. So if everything is correct, yes. See? Now we can turn our turret up and down. So we can already go inside. You can also force yourself down with a trapdoor, which is great. So you can sit in our gunner's position and start driving our tank. You can see it isn't really the fastest one, but it has 3 engines and 96 RPM, which really isn't the fastest ever. Our turret is also pretty fast, which is very nice. So now we're gonna take aim, which means we're gonna fire at one of the houses. Now this thing is actually very accurate, so medium cannons are much more accurate than regular ones, which is really good. So now we're gonna go ahead, open this. You can see how we open it. put in the cartridge and close it back up. So now we can take aim at that house and fire. And let's look at how much damage we caused. I'm just gonna climb down. And this was with an AP shot. You can see we shot through the roof and right out there. So we managed to get our shot to escape. So to test that out finally, we're gonna put it up against some steel. And we're gonna see how much layer it can penetrate. I'm gonna put up 4 layers of steel armor block. Not light steel, but steel armor block. You can also remotely control it if you want. It's very fun to do. It's like an RC car. So we can drive it over here. And we're gonna aim it like that. We're gonna go inside. There we go. You can see it also gives you back an empty medium cannon cartridge. We're gonna fill it, and we're gonna sit in our seat and fire. And we're gonna see we shot the side, and it actually penetrated fairly a lot of armor. You can also move it a bit to the side. Also come outside. You can see that from far the cannon actually goes back a bit. But again, we shot into it and you can see the same formation, so it penetrates fairly a lot of armor. And it's also very small and very compact. So that is it for the tutorial, guys. Thank you for watching, and also thanks for 100 subscribers. I appreciate it. Like, I actually don't have too much free time to create videos, and they also take up like simply like 2 hours just because of recording even multiple times and editing together. But anyway, enough about talking, and thanks for watching, and I hope you now understand how to make a tank. Goodbye.